Padres got exactly what they were missing. A power bat seems to have emerged internally to help bolster the struggling offense. Let's talk about Trenton Brooks, the Granite Hills alumni, East County native, and man who may be the man of the hour to come in and save the San Diego Padres offense, or at least, like I said, provide the power spark that they have been desperately needing. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much for tuning into the show where we, just some random dudes on the internet, opine, whine, under, and overreact about all things San Diego Padres. If you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. If not, no worries. And as I always say, let's go back to talking about some baseball. For those of you that don't know, this is Trenton Brooks. He is a minor leaguer in the San Diego Padres system, and he is a gentleman who, as I said previously, is from San Diego. And I know that that's not a stat that necessarily entirely matters in your consideration for him, but I like to hear, I like those storylines. Here are the numbers. Top are his current this year season minor league numbers. Bottom are his minor league career, or middle are his minor league career. Bottom are his MLB career. So he has been in the pros. He has sniffed it with the Giants. This is not a spring chicken-y rookie. This is a guy who just right now is kind of seeming to grow into his own a little bit and is maybe, he's 29. He plays first base, left field, can be a DH. Like he is a guy who's to me, the fact that he's having a couple multi-homer games later, he was the PCL player of the week this week. He is a guy who all of this points to he is what the Padres need and that he is a positive offensive bat. I'm not even going to say that he fixes the left field position challenges or the DH anything. Or like he is just the motto of like, if you hit, we can fit. Like we got other videos talking about this. It may have to be put Tyler Wade in left, put this guy in here, but like whatever it is, it all is pointing to that Brooks may just be a possible offensive upgrade to add in aggregate to the San Diego Padres stagnant, struggling, whatever you want to go offense. Breaking down the offensive numbers, because I think that the Padres fandom can look at things like, oh, we're only 2 games back of the Dodgers, and we played them, as of us recording this, really close in game 1 of the series, and they're doing well, and we're not at our best. Like, you can make a lot of excuses for ways to try to analyze the season in a best-case scenario, silver lining type of vibes, but in doing research for this, I came across, to me, what is the core thesis of what I want to get across to you guys, and that is the Padres cannot hit home runs to save their lives this season. Here are the bottom. This is technically 6 because there's a couple of ties there for 26th, but 25 right there. We are in the bottom 5-ish of Major League Baseball teams in terms of home runs that have been hit this season, and that is not fantastic. I will remind you, here are the numbers right now for Brooks. And again, with all of the videos that I ever do talking about minor league players, I get that numbers don't translate 1-to-1, that it is not if he's hitting 400 at AAA, or if he's hitting 400 at AA, it's going to hit 300 at AAA, 200 minors. There's no steady Eddie projections on all this. It is an ebb and a flow, and every player hits differently, and not all guys can translate out predictably. But look, 14 home runs right there in the minor leagues, to me, indicates at least a penchant, if you will, for power. I don't know if there's a less SAT-ish word, but right there, 14 home runs, slugging percentage is up. The guy obviously has some degree of launch angle and pop to his bat. On the flip side, launch angle and pop is something the Padres seem to be sorely lacking this season. You probably wouldn't guess it, but this is everybody that has hit a home run for the San Diego Padres this season. Fernando Tatis, Gavin Sheets, Manny Machado, the only 3 in double digits. Merrill at 5 has had less time to play this year. Cronenworth at 5 has had less time to play this year. But you look down at the bottom 3 there, bottom 4 even. Xander, we stereotypically are a cliche, oh, Xander's not great, like whatever. Okay. But Diaz, Maldonado, and Hayward are all 3 guys that you'd have been like, yeah, they should be the bottom-ish tier of our offensive output home runs wise, but not numbers 9, 10, and 11 of San Diego Padres that hit home runs. They should be numbers 14, 15, 16, 17, like down there. Like, this is a bad situation. And I'm not going to call it out and see like, oh, we just need only home run hitters. But if the Padres are losing games, if they're in close games, the pitching's doing okay, it would seem to indicate that right now, and this is not a reinventing the wheel, that we need an offensive upgrade, but it would also seem to be that if we're not going to take a swing, pun entirely intended, at upgrading to a massive, like if we're not going to go get in on, and we got videos on all sorts of other trade options, if we're not going to get in on a Cedric Mullins or, a Luis Roberts or go down the list of anybody that's above the mid-tier. Like there's some guys out there that are big-time trades that'd be like, boom, that's an upgrade. If we're not going to do that, if we're going to be a little bit asset poor, if we're going to save for one big trade at the deadline type of thing, right now, why not? Like I said, we can put Tyler Wade in left. We can have it be Sheets at the primary DH and Brooks coming off the bench every once in a great while. Like, I'm not saying to, like I said, to put this guy at the 4 slot and asking him to do yeoman's work. But again, I go back to the batting average is nice, but it's the OPS, the RBIs, and the home runs. This guy likes to hit the ball deep and in the gaps. And we saw them bring up Terso for 7 at-bats and send him down. So I get that some of these guys in the minor major conversation can have a short leash, and I don't think I can say that, like, guaranteed 7 at-bats of this Trenton Brooks experiment is going to be exactly what we need. But 7 at-bats of this guy right here, let's call it 25 at-bats of this guy right here might provide a little bolster of just balls getting hit deeper and harder around the yard. And I'm saying, what's wrong with that right now? It doesn't waste us any assets. It doesn't waste us any time. He's not going to show up and hit worse than some of our options. He's not going to show up and demand assets in exchange for him being there, or raise prices, or cause that. Like, he's just a guy who I would say either next time somebody goes on the IL, bump him up as the next option up, or let's just give him a try. Let's just pick Iglesias or whoever and send him down, or put him on the IL for a 10-day retroactive of 5. Like, just let's get this guy, Trenton Brooks, from Granite Hills High School. Let's get him 20 at-bats, see if there's not some cool juju in that bat, some vibes that he can exude out into the universe and get things going. Let me know, though, what you think. Is this guy a good option? Are you just not here for any of these minor, like, if the minor leaguers were good enough, they would already be here? Are you somewhere in the middle? Do you like him coming up? Maybe you think that getting him a little MLB time combined with these numbers means he's a deal sweetener for some of those trades for one of those bigger actual upgrades. Drop a comment, and as I said at the beginning, if you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. But if not, no worries. We'll talk to you next time, Padres fans. Keep the faith.